everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the first video that's not Baraska, and it feels like kind of good to not be listening and to actually be able to react to some things and talk about Riverdale, which is what led us to this all to begin with. So my name is Catherine, for those who are just joining in to Riverdale and don't listen to Baraska. And this is my ranking of every single episode of season 1 of Riverdale. Season 1 of Riverdale is iconic. It is the best season. It's what got us all hooked. And then we're just along for the ride at this point. So this is all my opinion, and I don't want anyone's feelings to get hurt if their favorite episode is not my favorite episode, or if it's the last one that I like, you know, it's fine. No one's feelings are gonna get hurt. It's just my opinion. With this, I am going to be reacting live. I have my computer all set up with all of my favorite scenes from each episode and some of the like iconic scenes from each one. More of my favorite. So without further ado, here we go. Actual disclaimer, I'm a huge Bughead fan and Cole Sprouse / Jughead. So a majority of my favorite clips are gonna include them. You're gonna have to deal with it. All right. Here we go. All right, here we go. In the 13th slot, we have chapter 9, La Grande Illusion. So this is when Archie goes to Cheryl's house and they have the tree tapping ceremony. It's just one of those episodes that drags on for me. It's one of the episodes that I just skip at this point whenever I do my rewatches. But with that, one of my favorite Bughead moments happen in this episode. And I'm gonna react to it now. I might cry because it is so good. Here we go.
My parents are unbelievable, Jug. Polly is locked up in that house like a character out of Jane Eyre, and what are they doing? Changing each other's login accounts and throwing bricks through windows.
I wish I'd seen that. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not funny.
It's like, you know how in a time of crisis, people either come together or fall apart? Feels like we're falling apart. And the way things are going pretty soon, the Coopers, we're not gonna exist anymore, and there's nothing I can do to stop that.
Betty, don't do that. Don't give up. Your family is definitely splintering right now, but it won't fall apart because of you. Because you're holding them together. You're so much stronger than all of the white noise.
It's so sad.
You're stronger than your mother. You're stronger than your father. You're holding this family together. So don't. Don't let go.
I won't.
So good. I said I was gonna cry. That scene, like, it almost, when I was ranking everything and then I was going through my favorite scenes and I saw that it was from this episode, I was like, oh my god, like it might bump it up, but I just can't get through the rest of the episode. So stay tuned to sometime in the future when I do Bughead moments that are my favorite, and that will definitely be up there. It was one of those true, genuine moments that we see for the first time Jughead saving Betty, and you sort of see the soulmateness between the two of them for the first time, and it's so endearing and it makes me cry every time, as you can tell. The next episode is chapter 3, Body Double. So, okay, I have so many thoughts about this episode. This episode is great, especially when it comes to exposing victims of like assault and exposing their assaulters. It's fabulous. However, When we first see Betty in that wig, I'm like, what? I was like, I remember watching it for the first time and I was like, all right. Like, what these boys are doing on that football team was awful, terrible. It shouldn't happen to anyone. But it's like, we don't have to go to that extent. And I mean, yes, it's our first time seeing Dark Betty, and I have thoughts about that to begin with. But I don't know. It's just a hard episode for me to get through. My favorite moment from this episode is going to be the first time we see Bughead interact, just two of them. But this whole episode is about Chuck and what he did to Veronica, then what he did to Ethel, and then what Betty does to Chuck, and them getting him suspended. And then we also get that side storyline of finding out about Dilton, and then Betty and Jughead find out about Miss Grundy. Well, Jughead already knows, but Betty finds out about Miss Grundy and Archie, and we're like, ag. Like, we need to, like, not do this. But here we go with my favorite moment from season 1, episode 3.
Print journalism is dead. What am I doing here?
The blue and gold isn't dead, Juggy. It's just dormant. But waking up. You're writing a novel, right? About Jason Blossom's murder.
I am. Riverdale's very own In Cold Blood.
Which started out as a series of articles. I'm hoping you'll come right for the blue and gold.
I just don't think the school paper's the right fit for my voice.
Juggy, Jason's death changed Riverdale. People don't want to admit that, but it's true. We all feel it. Nothing this bad was ever supposed to happen here, but it did. I want to know why.
Would I get complete freedom?
I'll help and edit and suggest, but it's your story. It's your voice.
It doesn't sound like complete freedom, but I'm in.
Okay, great. In that case, I have your first assignment. There's one person who was at the river on July 4th that no one's talking about.
Dilton Doyley and his scouts.
Exactly.
That little, like, lip bite, that's like, the next one is chapter 5, so episode 5, and The Heart of Darkness, and this is Jason's funeral. But my favorite is one of the one-liners that Veronica shoots out in the beginning when they all get invited to the funeral.
You're positively radiating Nicholas Sparks. Tell me everything about this, Trev.
Oh, there's nothing to tell. Just one of Betty's sources. There's nothing romantic in the offing.
Why is everything weird here? Why can't a date just be a date? What about you, Archie? How's life in a PG world? PG, post-Grundy. What, too soon?
Coach Clayton says I have a shot at being varsity captain, so I'm not thinking about anything else right now.
You're back to being boring.
Are you maybe throwing yourself into football as a way to avoid your feelings?
I'm not avoiding anything, Betty. I'm trying to get my life back on track.
I can help with that. I know Miss Grundy was tutoring you,
Understatement of the year.
but there's this amazing songwriter from New
We're in the top 10 now, right? So we got like my 3 that I'm like, okay, like I can do with that. Now these are gonna be like the 10 episodes that I'm like, yes, bring it home. So it is going to be chapter 4, the last picture show. So it's the drive-in episode. Now, I actually love this episode so much. I don't want to give airtime to Archie and Miss Grundy. I think it's disgusting. Should never have happened. That is my honest opinion. It is such a good episode, but then we finally get rid of Miss Grundy, which I'm like, thank you, Lord. My favorite part of this is going to be the opening pop scene.
The drive-in closing is
Just one more nail in the coffin that is Riverdale.
No, forget Riverdale. In the coffin of the American dream. As the godfather of indie cinema, Quentin Tarantino likes to say,
Please, no more Quentin Tarantino references.
what? I'm pissed. And not just about losing my job. The Twilight Drive-In should mean something to us. People should be trying to save it.
In this age of Netflix and VOD, do people really want to watch a movie in a car? I mean, who even goes there?
People who want to buy crack.
And cinephiles. And car enthusiasts. Right, Bets?
Totally.
Anyway, it's closing because the town owns it but didn't invest in it. So when an anonymous buyer made Mayor McCoy an offer she couldn't refuse.
Anonymous buyer? What do they have to hide? No one cares.
I do.
Also, you guys should all come to closing night.
I'm thinking American Graffiti. Or is that too obvious?
I vote for anything starring Audrey Hepburn. Or Kate Blanchett.
Or the talented Mr. Ripley. Betty, your choices?
Everything okay, B?
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Maybe Rebel Without a Cause?
Now that's an odd combo of people.
I'll be right back.
Betty.
No, don't.
Wait, what's happening?
In the 9th slot, we have Chapter 8, The Outsiders. So, this one I was torn back and forth with The Last Picture Show. And the only reason why I put Chapter 8 above is we get those ensemble scenes, and we get the whole baby shower, and then we probably have one of the best Buckhead scenes in this episode, and that is when they finish talking to FP about if he murdered Jason Blossom. This is my favorite scene of Chapter 8, Episode 8. Oh, and when we hear their theme song for the first time, which is what is at my end credits all the time, is their theme song, and I stop every time.
Do you believe him?
I do. Do you?
I believe you, Jughead.
Next is Chapter 2. Now, this one is great, and I love this episode because it's the falling out of the pilot. We get probably the best, one of my favorite Betty and Veronica scenes, which turn into our first Core 4 scene, which is so good. It's one of my favorites.
Here you go. 1 double chocolate and 1 old-fashioned vanilla.
Thank you. Betty, can we make a vow?
Sure.
That no matter what, no boy will ever come between us again. Deal?
Deal. You guys want to join us?
Yes, but only if you're treating.
Veronica lunch.
Jughead Jones the third.
Jughead Jones the third.
Does someone...
All right, in number 7, we have Chapter 11, To Riverdale and Back, which is the dance. So it's the homecoming dance, right? Such a good episode. It makes me really sad, and the scene I picked is the saddest part.
What? That you're working with my mom behind my back?
I'm sorry, B, but you know FP had some kind of arrangement with my dad. I had to make sure it wasn't about Jason Blossom.
And what's your excuse?
I was looking out for Jughead in case FP was doing shady stuff to protect him.
Blame me, Betty. I asked Archie to help me.
Help you do what? What did you two do?
Guys. Betty. What's going on?
Why do I feel like I'm suddenly left out?
Do you want to tell him or should I?
Tell me what?
We went to your dad's trailer to...
To search it, Jughead.
Why would you guys do that?
My mom put them up to it. She was convinced he was hiding something about Jason.
But we were wrong. All of us. We didn't find anything.
Jug, we were only doing it to prove that
My dad wasn't a murderer? You went behind my back, Archie.
Jug.
How did you... When did you guys know to go to my dad's trailer?
We knew he'd be at dinner with...
No.
That's why your mom invited my dad and I to dinner? So these two could break into his trailer while she interrogated him?
No, I didn't know what they were doing. But yes, that is why she invited you guys.
To think I was gonna pass on moving to Toledo with my family for you. When we went to my dad's trailer, you asked me if I believed him. I said I did. Wasn't that good enough for you?
It was good enough. I tried to stop her.
You could have told me. You could have warned me about this.
You were so excited, Jug. I didn't want to disappoint you.
So instead you lied. You all lied to me?
There.
Betty, thank God.
Mom, don't.
No, you have to listen. All of you.
My dad just told Mayor McCoy about your dad, Jughead.
What about my dad?
He was just arrested for the murder of Jason Blossom.
It's so sad, but still, like, so good. And the one right after that is going to be episode 12 in number 6. So number 6 is going to be chapter 12, Anatomy of a Murder. And this is where we find out Jason Blossom's killer, which is the moment I picked, obviously. And I remember watching this and I was like, who is it? Like, you just want to know, and I love the way they shot this. And you really don't find out until Betty makes that phone call.
Betty.
Betty, who are you calling?
You have to get out of that house. Listen to me.
And then you're like, ah.
I understand. Thank you.
And the single teardrop that Madeline drops, it's, and then she just wipes it away, and she goes down, it's so good. This is one of the best reveals this show has ever done. Probably the best. Yeah, 100% the best reveal of a twist that the show has ever done. Easily. I'm gonna stop that one there. Oh my god, it is so good! We're in the top 5. We have chapter 6, Kill Pussycats Kill. I know people probably thought this was going to be a lot higher because I'm a Bughead fan. The episode as a whole, like, what makes this episode great is Bughead.
Hey there, Juliet. Nurse off duty? You haven't gone full yellow wallpaper on me yet, have you?
They're crazy. My parents are crazy.
Their parents. They're all crazy.
No, but what if Polly is too? The way she was talking to me, the way she looked at me. And now all I can think is maybe I'm crazy like they are.
Hey, we're all crazy. We're not our parents, Betty. We're not our families. Also,
What? What?
Just to think that was probably Cole and Millie's first kiss. You're just like, ugh. Oh my god, my heart is racing.
wow. That's what you're thinking about in the middle of our moment?
No, Polly talked about a car Jason had stashed for them down.
Next, we have chapter 7, which is In a Lonely Place. The only reason I rank this one a little bit higher is because the overall story, the overall story arc is great in this episode. We find out more about Polly and everything, but this is when everyone finds out about Betty and Jughead, and it's so nice. It's one of my favorite parts. The opening sequence is also really good.
Don't want to get the police involved. They don't want anyone to know that she ran away or about her shameful condition.
Please, what decade is this?
Well, also since she knew where Jason's getaway car was, they're afraid people might think that she burned it. And that if she did,
She could be the murderer, trying to cover her tracks.
Well, who did burn the car then?
Sheriff Keller says it's possible someone was following us.
Oh my god. Honestly, guys, we should just move.
Guys, what if Polly's really hurt? What if whoever killed Jason's coming after her next?
Eddie, even though your parents don't want to, maybe you should go to the police.
Seconded. We can talk to my dad together about how he has to be discreet.
No offense, Kev, but your dad answers to a higher authority than God. The Blossoms. They're the first people that he would tell.
And if there's anyone to keep this a secret from, it's the Blossoms. They twist it around and go after Polly out of spite.
How can we help? Tell us, V. We'll do it.
Hey, Juggy. Know before how you said you didn't want Betty knowing where you were living. Is that because you and Betty...
We may have had a moment.
It's totally cool, I get it. No worries, I'm just curious. Hey, I've been thinking about your situation, and I talked to my dad. He said he's willing to give your dad a second chance, but only if FP wants it. He's gonna call him. But I think you should talk to him too. Between the two of us, I think we could really make this thing happen.
Did I just notice Riverdale High's very own Holden Caulfield put his arm around you?
Okay, so the past couple of days, I haven't been in a great place emotionally, and Jughead was really there for me.
Oh my god, swoon. Okay, in that case, if he helped my girl navigate some turbulent waters, well then, Veronica Lodge approves. That a girl. Come on.
So, in third, are you ready? It is chapter 13, The Sweet Hereafter. My god. This episode just wraps up the season perfectly. And then obviously the most iconic part of episode 13 is this.
Wow, that's great in here.
Cleaned it up after Sheriff Keller thrashed it. Just in case my dad...
Until he gets out, I'm not giving up on him, Jug.
Oh, no. That is why I love you, Betty. I love you. Betty Cooper.
Jones. I love you.
Is that your mom?
Who else would it be?
Easy, hot dog. He's family. Hey.
Heard your dad could have named names, but didn't. Serpents take care of their own. We wanted you to know, no matter what happens to him, however long he's gone, we got your back. This is yours, if you want it.
Here comes the hottest part of Riverdale season 1.
Shaggy.
Oh, and Cheryl burned her house down. In the second place spot, it is the pilot, chapter 1, The River's Edge. Just had a great beginning to hook you in about this murder. And then we have my favorite part, one of the last scenes of the episode in...
It was midnight when my old friend Archie Andrews arrived at the one place in town that was still open. He was looking for the girl next door. Instead, he found me.
Hey, Pop. Betty hasn't come in tonight, has she?
No. That's Nighthawk's in tonight.
Thanks. Can I sit, Jughead?
If you want.
What are you working on?
My novel. It's about this summer. It's in Jason Blossom.
17 years old, and how will he be remembered? As captain of the water polo team?
The Aquaholics. Considering how he died, probably not.
No, what I mean is, was he doing everything he was supposed to do? Everything he wanted? I mean, did he even know what that was?
Coach Clayton was in here talking to Pop Tate. Varsity. Does that make you, what, Mr. Popular Football God now?
No. In fact, I'm kind of terrified I lost my best friend tonight.
If you mean Betty, whatever happened, just talk to her, man. It'll go a long way. Would have gone a long way with me.
Number 1, my favorite episode of season 1, the one I can watch over and over and over and over and over again, is chapter 10, Lost Weekend. It is Jughead's birthday party episode. I picked 2 moments. One is gonna be like my cringy, like, iconic piece, which is...
John.
Why?
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird.
And then my favorite part, I think everyone's favorite part, is the pop scene.
And all this time I thought you were a lover, not a fighter.
I'm both. I've got layers. You were doing something nice. It's just that sometimes when people do nice things for me, I short circuit. Maybe I'm not used to it. Maybe I'm scared. Of getting hurt. Being rejected. For being myself.
I should have told you about Chuck. But I lied. And instead threw you this party that you didn't even want.
Why did you?
Something is very, very wrong with me. Like, there's this darkness in me that's overwhelming sometimes. I don't know where it comes from. But I think that's what makes me do these crazy things, like...
And it is just so good. Oh my god, I did it. I actually put these episodes in order and I talked about them and I only cried like a few times, which is great. I want to thank you guys again for watching. I want to know what your ranking is. Leave them in the comments below. And make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All that is below and on the last little slide. And like, comment, and subscribe to this video and to my channel.